Today we're going to talk about enchantments, Selesnya Enchantments in particular, because this list still is off to a great start here and has done very, very well in the Ixalan meta. And we're going to talk about a couple of key differences with the various types of Selesnya Enchantments lists that you may run into and why I've picked this one. So thank you for tuning in here today. If you got a question or comment along the way, do let me know, or feel free to join us in our active Discord server. On top of that, like I said, we'll cover some of those differences. We'll give you the strategy objective of this list. We'll go play that competitive Magic as we do in Best of One and pull it all back together for you here today. We have those timestamps readily available to you, and you can check those out. So when it comes to the Selesnya Enchantments list, this one in particular runs around 60%. Most of them will run between that 50 and 60, or sorry, 55 and 60% in terms of win rate. This one in particular, the reason why I've picked this one is it does follow my play style. I do like a one-off in particular for standard best of one, which is important to me to have a variant out. However, that also reduces that fine-tunedness tweak that you may have. Now, this one in particular, the biggest difference that I like to call out here is really Catilda. Not all Selesnya enchantment lists run this one. In particular, the difference is you trade it for a Skrelv. So wanted to call that piece out. Some players like the 3 Skrelvs, don't run Catilda and so forth. I like this particular variant. Again, dealing with kind of my one-off variant, like I said. And then additionally, we do have the Commune with Spirits. Always something else here to kind of help you find that right enchantment or give you some land if you need it, kind of a thing. Again, another one-off. If you're going to make some tweaks, those are some considerations for your particular list. Now, the other call out here is certainly it is a Selesnya Enchantments list. The other things that I've seen in other variants are things like Seal from Existence. You may run into the Restoration of Django and also Teachings of the Current. Just some other pieces and maybe even more Catildas. Now, those particular lists, as you begin to add those things in, tend to get away from this fine-tuning from a 60% and drop you down closer to about 55. So wanted to call those pieces out there for our fun facts for this particular list. Now, the strategy objective of this list is to really follow that curve here the best that we can, taking advantage of Generous Visitor or Skrelv for that protection, and then continuing to take advantage of our 2-drops and ultimately get Calyx on the board and protect Calyx. That's going to make this list absolutely explosive. We do have ossification here to lock down our opponents. And then don't forget to take advantage of Weaver of Harmony. Here you can copy targeted activated or triggered ability you control from an enchantment source. You may choose new targets. Essentially, you can lock 2 creatures out with ossification as an example, or you can pump Machiko's Reign of Truth twice. So as a couple examples, or again, +1/+1s and those things. So very, very powerful in terms of this list. Again, Calyx here being a key linchpin that we've gained from previous sets, where this guy gives you a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and then whenever Calyx or an enchant creature you control deals combat damage to player, you may create a token that's a copy of non-legendary enchantment you control, and you can do this once each turn. So very, very solid, lots of engine, lots of damage, and the ability to continue to push through. It is certainly a key list in the current meta here still today. So that's really the strategy objective of this list. Really aggro mid-rangey in terms of how you're going to line up, keep that pressure on, keep that damage in, and on top of that, we do get the life gain with Jukai Naturalist, and enchantment spells do cost 1 less. So let's go ahead and play that competitive Magic now that we've talked through some of the key pieces on this, the differentiation between the lists, as I always like to make sure that we talk through, and then additionally that strategy objective of how we're gonna win and win and win some more. All right, here we go. Our Selesnya enchantment list for us here today. As always, I do have swag and merch and things like that are a great way to support the channel. Thank you for that. We got some trauma here today. All right, here we go. So we can keep this for first. We're not going to hit our 1-drop, which is okay. We got Kami in here, which is great. And we also have Calyx in here, which is great. And again, whenever Calyx or an enchanted creature, again, keyword enchanted creature, does damage, we're going to be in where we need to be in. Ooh, now we may want to consider how we play this out a little bit differently. This guy's going to get, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a +1/+1. We may want Weaver in. We can take advantage of Weaver on the, maybe not this turn, but on the next one. We could have played Kami first, played this. I actually wanted to get this on the board first for activation because I'm going to bet that we get countered on the next one is most likely what's going to happen. Now, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you can put that 1/1 at the beginning of each end step. If an enchantment is put in your graveyard from the battlefield, we can take advantage of that. I am going to play this first. They let it go on the board. If we do this here, if at the beginning of each end step, if an enchantment is put in your graveyard from the battlefield, we may return Kami. So let's do this. Now, doing that still gets us the opportunity to attack in with Weaver here. Now, it does take away our enchantment, which is too bad. But again, we do have a control list, a temple list here, which is kind of what I'm trying to play around a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean certainly a lot. Because what this list does is dump a ton of stuff in your graveyard, ultimately trying to pull it back, which can be extraordinarily, positively problematic. Now, we could have taken advantage of that twice if we would have dropped that first and then pumped, but we're okay with that for now. Let's see what our opponent does. Ideally, we want to hit Calyx on the next one if we can. So there's the Monastery Mentor. We're okay with that. Look at the top four. Enchant Creature. Now, no counter is going to come off on this. And we can get everything bigger here. Now, we could play this if we wanted to on top of this, but we'll wait. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add this here. And there we go, my friends. What I was going to do was when I hit in there with my enchanted creature and essentially went over the top, I was going to pop Calyx off again, which is why I did that. Some of that awkward playness at the beginning was on purpose in order to, again, play around the temple list that we had. That list is a very fun one. And can be very, very powerful in the way that you self-mill and pull stuff back from the graveyard. So, looking forward to running that one here for you, too, on the channel. All right, let's go ahead. Thunder Horse it is. Now, we got 2 Calyxes, no creatures. It's not a great start for us. It's great that we have Calyx. We could try and do Ossification, Lockdown, and go over the top. I think it's a little weak for us on the play. Let's go ahead and do this. This is going to be a little bit more in our favor. We're going to keep 6. I'm actually going to get rid of Commune there. Better choice for us against Mono Red, I think. Key here will be keeping our stuff alive. And I think the play here is going to matter in terms of what we hit. Okay, so we did get another one there, which is fine, so we can double up on these two. So I'm going to do this, actually. Seems a little weak, but taking one turn, ultimately, hopefully do a little bit more damage. There we go. Our opponent's got a lot. We're not going to block on any of that. Ultimately, I was hoping a little bit, to be honest, for more ossification here. We could block on that. We certainly can go over the top with this. We can make this one bigger. Because Kami's gonna keep getting bigger. Here we go. Now here's what we need to ultimately decide on. We got 11 damage here. We're gonna want to keep 1 up. Now, I'm doing that because we want to be able to block with Kami. That's going to be our trick. Hopefully enough to save us. I think we're going to be in trouble, though. And there, my friends, we are ultimately in trouble. Unfortunate there for us. If we would have even kept the other one up, they still had enough. Ultimately, I think it was the right play for us because we got rid of ultimately getting to our 3 drops, which would have been too slow against mono red on the play while we were on the draw. So let's go ahead into our 3rd and final match here. Selesnya can hold up well against mono red still when you do get the life gain, when you have that ability to be on the play, not the draw. All those things matter. So, all right. 3rd and final one here against KK29. All right, we go first. We will keep this because I can play this and take advantage of it, hopefully, is going to be the ultimate goal. Now that may slow us down. Oh, that is really gonna slow us down. That does not help us. We need 2 on that. Let's go ahead and get a draw in. That does not help. Missing the land drop is gonna hurt us for sure on this one. And again, this is on the more control side, so this is not gonna be the flashback one. We just ultimately need to be a little bit cognizant of. Maybe. We'll see. Faithful Mending's in there. They only pitched lands, though. So if they're only pitching lands, it probably is more on the control side. So we need to be a little bit more careful. Let's see if we can get away with this. Now they could have their friend in here. Absolutely. Wandering Emperor. Oh, no. Okay, they waited on that. We were going to wait. Now, I'm slightly waiting. We have lethal on the next turn here, actually. However, if they wipe my board, I am in trouble, which is why I decided to hold back some of the stuff that we had here. It's really, again, going to matter in terms of what they do and how they pick their play. If they leave things open, we don't have anything to go over the top there, which is too bad. Now, the 3 keeps us alive, which is key. We'll go like this. So right now they haven't hit their wipe. I think. If they would have, they probably would have taken everything off there. They could hit it here. They got the mill. No wipe. Interesting, interesting. We'll see if they have a hard counter on this. We're going to split these. We're going to play Calyx. So we are loading the board here. Now again, enough for Wanderer there. Which is slightly what I suspect is going to pop out here. Ooh, a bounce. Okay, we're good. That's okay. Still a ton of damage. But not enough. And this guy is not enchanted. We are good. Ooh. Had me sweating there. I was expecting a board wipe. We'll take it. No mill, not enough mill on us. Ooh, good. That's nice. All right. So that, my friends, is our run here for today with our Selesnya Enchantments. Our pick worked out for us here in terms of our lineup, winning 2 of our matches. We did lose to mono red. I still think we made the right plays. However, let me know what you think of in the comments. Again, a very powerful list here right now. In Standard, I haven't covered it in a while, or for the recent meta, so why I chose this one here today. So with that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Again, if you got a question, if you got a comment, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. As always, we did not get to see Calyx pop off. A little bummed about that. Our opponent quit too soon, but that is a-okay, because that's Magic. So with that, thank you for tuning in. As always, I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we grow this community here. On top of that, as always, thank you to all the members. We do have memberships available to you down below, and affiliate links if you're looking for cards and other things like that you can certainly use. I appreciate that support. May your Selesnya Enchantments list be very enchanted for you here today, as we were able to come across and achieve that 60% in terms of our win rate. And I wish you the best with that as well. We have a ton of great Magic content here on the channel for you, and more coming all the time. Stay tuned. We'll see you again soon. Until next time, Mythras out of here.